Hey everybody, welcome to What the Flick. Christy, Matt, Alonzo, talking about Storks, the latest from Warner Brothers' sort of bubbling up animation department. They gave us the Lego movie, and now this.
Yeah. From the people who brought you the Lego movie and are going to bring you the Lego Ninjago movie, which we saw a little short for beforehand. We saw a trailer, you guys. Let's be honest.
Oh, I thought it was a short.
The
Okay.
Lego Ninjago thing, I mean.
Well, Lego Batman's next, right?
Yeah, but there's also a Lego Ninjago movie coming out soon.
What's a Ninjago?
Well, they've had a TV
What's
show.
Ninjago?
Yeah.
It's
Right.
they're
Lego
ninjas, but they're made of Legos.
Right.
Come to my house sometime.
They've had that show for a
that
while.
one, okay.
That's not a surprise.
This is called Storks. This is
Right.
not with Lego Storks.
No.
Storks used to bring babies to people. Nobody ever had sex. Storks would just bring you a baby. And then one day, a stork got too attached to the baby he was supposed to deliver to her family and broke the little doohickey that sent her where she's supposed to go. And they shut down the stork factory and turned it into an Amazon-like behemoth called cornerstore.com. And the storks now bring you like running shoes or hairspray or whatever you've ordered. So, Andy Samberg is this up-and-coming stork in the Stork Company who's about to take over the reins of the company from his blowhard of a boss, voiced by Kelsey. But all he has to do is fire the little girl who was left behind 18 years ago. Her name is Tulip. She's voiced by a very talented comedian named Katie Crown. And so, unbeknownst to everybody, she gets a letter that comes in from a kid who wants to have a little brother. It's a long story. Anyway, they make a baby accidentally from the baby factory, and they have to deliver that baby to the family. I hate when I accidentally make a baby. It hurts. So they need to bring the baby to the house before Kelsey Grammer finds out that they've made a baby again, but they might get attached to the baby along the way, and madcap hilarity ensues. Take a look.
In the beginning, storks delivered babies. It wasn't always easy. No matter how tough or impossible or brutal or inhumane or savage, we would triumph over adversity. Thank goodness we don't do that anymore. Now storks deliver packages for cornerstore.com.
Our new phones!
You know, it's funny. I've been one of my complaints about the marketing of this movie is that I looked at the billboards and the posters. I was like, I have no idea what this movie is about. I don't know what it is. But then hearing you describe the plot, I was like, yeah, I guess it's really hard to kind of.
It's not high concept.
You
It
know,
looks like it is.
It's a lot
but
of
it's
there's a lot of moving
not.
parts here.
But I laughed my ass off. I'm cackling, giggling, laughing at this.
I
Yeah.
loved this movie.
Yeah.
I loved this movie. I was taken so by surprise by it. I think part of it, it's written and co-directed by Nicholas Stoller.
Yes, his first animated film.
Yes, he did it with a guy named Doug Sweetland, who directed the Pixar short Presto. Remember that one with the magician? And like animated on a lot of like Toy Story and Nemo and a lot of the big titles.
He was supervising animator on Cars.
Yes. So this movie, I just think it is very funny and it's sweet at the right times. And one of the things that we've talked about in comedies lately is that there's so much improvising going on that a lot of times will give you something that's funny in that one scene, but then it's not. It's ignored for the rest of the film. Whereas I think the really great comedies, you know, you set up a gag in Act 1 and then you pay it off in Act 3, and there's a lot of that happening in this movie. And stuff that you just thought was a throwaway early on comes to matter later on. And I thought it was very funny. The dialogue is very smart. And it has sweet things to say about parenting and about babies and about a lot of things. And I went into this movie with zero expectations, and I was thoroughly charmed by it.
Yeah, it's a tough balance to pull off, right? Because it's zany and it's snappy. It's got kind of like a Looney Tunes kind of absurd insanity to it, which I love.
Yeah.
But then, the emotion sneaks up on you. You were talking about the improv element of it. So usually in animated films, every actor does his or her part individually, and then they cut them all together. So Nicholas Stoller actually got the actors together as often as possible to let them banter with each other and to let the improv fly. So that was true with Andy Samberg and Katie Crown. That was true with Ty Burrell and Jennifer Aniston. That was true with Key and Peele.
Sure.
Right.
Key and Peele play one of the best bits, which I'm not going to reveal to you, the alpha and beta wolves of this pack, this wolf pack they come across. And so those guys they have amazing chemistry. They're bantering with each other, and that gives this movie a liveliness that we don't always see.
But not at the expense of story and structure.
Which I think is really impressive if you think about it, because there's these gags that, as I was thinking about it later, seem to come out of nowhere, and like you would see in classic Looney Tunes, it's everything short of somebody just pulling a hammer on from off. Like this movie gets insane in a way that's really funny, and we laugh almost out of shock.
Yeah.
But at no point does it take away from the logic of the movie.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
I don't know.
Well, yes and no. Like, it'll establish something insane is possible. And then it gives you more of it. Like, okay,
it does.
That's the world we live in, and it doesn't shy away from that. It's like, oh, this is the world we live in? Okay, that's what we're doing now.
And I love an animated film where the lead characters are neither like reluctant heroes or special snowflakes. Like the Andy Samberg character is doing all of this stuff just to save his promotion, and he doesn't even really know why he wants the promotion, So he's this sort of kind of corporate lackey who's just trying to maintain the status quo. There's nothing like, he's not driven to do this thing, and it's not like he's got some special thing about him that no one else could have accomplished. He's just this guy caught up in these weird circumstances.
He's like, eh. And I will say, as far as to your point about the logic, okay, so if you want to ask yourself serious questions about where babies came from between the time that the factory shut down and now. So, I mean, there's stuff like that if you think too hard, it will bother you, and it will distract you from the rapid fire humor going here. I wasn't bothered by that.
I will say that parents will not need to worry about dodging questions about. The movie doesn't delve into where babies really come from, so you can.
No, we did not have that discussion.
Skirt that issue.
No, Nicholas and I did not have that discussion about where babies come from. I will not for some time. So yeah, I had a really good time, and I want to talk about Pigeon Toady really fast. He's my favorite character of the whole movie, Stephen Glickman.
Yes.
Look at Stephen something Glickman. He's a comedian. He's doing the voice. He's like this surfer.
Stephen Kramer Glickman. He's this little character, this little bitty bird named Pigeon Toady, who follows everybody around, and he kisses ass to the boss, but he also like desperately seeks the acceptance of his coworkers, and he steals every moment. Oh my God, he's so funny. He's so inappropriate.
He even gets like the thing that can be the bane of so many modern comedies, where he gets a musical number of a recent hit song, which can often just be deadly. And it's weird enough and quick enough in this movie that I thought it worked.
They make that, pacing has a lot to do with why this works. It's just so zilly. It's zippy and silly and moves really fast.
Zilly.
It is Zillowy. So yeah, I had fun. What are your numbers?
I gave it an 8.5.
Okay.
This is, I think, one of the best comedies of the year, like live action or animated.
Okay. You said 7?
7. Yeah, 7. It's fun. It's a lot of fun. It is one of those ones, like, the more I think about it, it's like, starts to lead to some uncomfortable questions.
Right. But just don't ask yourself those questions, and we're going to be okay. And I'm saying 7.8, so our average is a 7.8, really?
Right, and it's currently 58% on Rotten Tomatoes.
It's better than that, you guys.
Yeah, come on.
Go see it. Bye.